Welcome to Loving God and Loving Life. We're in Romans chapter 16, the final chapter of this amazing book. We find the theme being Paul greeting his friends, and he counsels to avoid those who cause divisions. Here in this chapter, Paul greets 28 people. Now, what's the most astonishing thing about that? Not just that he has 28 friends in the world. Gang, he's greeting 28 people in Rome, and he's never been there. He's never personally been to Rome, and yet he's greeting these 28 people because, people traveled. Well, let's just read one of the examples of people he was greeting. In verse 3, give my greetings to Priscilla and Aquila. They are co-workers in the ministry of Christ. In fact, they once risked their lives for me. I'm thankful for them, and so are all the Gentile churches. Also, give my greetings to the church that meets in their home. Well, Paul had spent earlier years of his life in their home in a place called Corinth, the book of Corinthians. Paul had actually lived with them for 18 months. They had since moved back. They had left Rome under the edict of the Claudius in AD 49. He kicked out all the Jews out of Rome. Okay. Well, they'd gone to Corinth. Paul lived there with them and established this amazing relationship. They established the church, the Corinthian church, and now they're back in Rome, or open back up to them, and Paul is greeting them. Well, in all of these travels of Paul's, he had connected with a lot of people. He had lived with some of these people. He had grown very, very close to many of these people. And there is such an amazing thing here about this book. We're ending here. This is the final chapter of the book. And Romans is probably the most theological book. It's the book, the depths of God's sovereignty are revealed here. Predestination is revealed here. God's wrath against sin. All of these heavy, heavy theological topics. But Paul ends by greeting people. Again, Paul never forgot how ministry actually works and the goal of this. And the danger can be, if we love a book like Romans, that we can just become intellectual people. We can kind of sink into our study closet and think that we can accomplish the mission of Jesus Christ in our closet. King Paul wasn't getting all this information for his closet and for his brain. He was sharing it. His theology ended up in the hearts and lives of his life and the people. He shared it with people. 28 people. He hadn't even been there. But gang, these were people that he had connected with around that Roman world. And it just shows you his heart. He had connected with people. He had lived with people, loved people, shared his heart with people. And it's my prayer that you're doing exactly that. Don't allow Bible study to become something that just drives you into a corner of your brain. Let it push you out into the hearts and lives. We're gaining food for the mission. The mission is always God's people, which is why we pray this every day. God, today, send me one person today to share your love with. My friends, never forget, loving God is the only way you're going to love your life.